I bet you heard the phrase, the power of life and death is in the tongue. Well, let's talk about what life looks like when you allow death to fall from your mouth and how to let life flow effortlessly so that you can experience more of what you want and way less of what you don't. Stay tuned. What if your dream relationship, your success with money, your optimal health, and your simple peace of mind were right on the other side of your ability to heal yourself emotionally and bring just a little bit more self-love into your life? What if the only thing stopping you from manifesting all of your deepest desires was the knowledge to do exactly that? Would you be down to find out how to do it? Well, if your answer is hell yes, then join me, Dr. Dre Cleveland, your personal power coach, as we explore topics of healing, self-love, and manifestation that will help you to finally create the life you truly want to live. So sit back, relax, and grab your cup of tea because, girl, it's time to get your life together. Hey sis, long time no see. I've definitely had a lot on my plate over the last few weeks, but I'm back and I definitely wanted to address a topic that is always top of mind for me because it's so obvious to me how little we humans respect it. And that is the power of your word. The power of your word, the power of your intentions behind your words. All of that makes or breaks what you bring into your life and what gets to stay in your life. And most of us throw our words and intentions around like a rag doll with no regard for the fact that we are likely inadvertently destroying our lives by not paying attention to what we think and ultimately what we say. In this episode, we're going to explore how you might be sabotaging yourself with your words, from the seemingly obvious to the most minute, and just how intricate you need to be with your words to start seeing some change in your life starting now. So, we're going to start with how you're actually sabotaging everything with the power of your tongue. But before we do that, let's get into our GGYLT song of the day. Stay tuned. What's up, girl? It's time to shout out our GGYLT song of the day. Today's song is I Am Woman by Emmy Melly. I love this song because she's not only celebrating herself, she's also tapping into one of the most powerful statements in our language. I am. I am fearless. I am sexy. I am divine. Yes, come vibe with her and get a crash course in how to affirm yourself with a positive flow. And we're back. So, first, I want to talk a little bit about how we tend to sabotage ourselves with our words. This is like so super important because we don't realize how potent our words are for real. They are a spell. Literally, they're a spell because they are what creates our experiences in our lives. Let me explain how this works through universal principles because there are several that speak to why you can't just be saying anything out of your mouth and expecting your life to look differently than what you're saying. For example, the law of vibration and the law of attraction both speak to how everything is moving and vibrating. And we bring things into our lives that match where we are vibrating, whether in thought, words, or actions. And here's the thing, you can't even get to words and actions without thought. That is the beginning of everything. So our words and our actions just show us the quality of our thoughts because you can't speak what you aren't thinking about. So if you look at the quality of the words you speak, you will understand the actions you've been taking, whether they've been serving you or not, but you will also understand the quality of your thoughts, which is where your creative power is. There's another law called the law of correspondence, which is where you've probably heard the phrase as above, so below, or better yet, as within, so without. So that tells you definitively that your inner world is reflected in your outer world. That said, now think about what comes out of your mouth on the regular. And I'll admit it's a hard habit to break, but it's a must if you want to have any chance at truly creating what you want in your life and not more of what you don't want. Because here's the thing, the divine intelligence that all of this and us is made of is pure information and clear intention. It's not sitting there trying to decipher what you mean by something. It's truly responding and bringing towards you what you are doing with your vibration, which is most often obvious in your words. Like I said, so you can mean you want a beautiful relationship all day, but if you're always speaking about how you always get a certain type of thing in your relationships, well, so be it, because as above, so below, as within, so without. That reminds me of another nuance that is important to point out here, because people say all the time, well, I'm just telling it how it is, or I have a right to speak on it and feel how I feel. And that's all true. But is it worth sabotaging what you're creating going forward, knowing that you're creating more of that thing the more you speak about it? Probably not. But this is what I know. We are all trained by life to look at what's happening and be a commentator on it. Something happens, good or bad, and especially when it's bad, y'all already know. And we have to tell all about it with all of the emotion we can muster. We repeat it so much in our heads and to our friends, like, girl, let me tell you, that's why men ain't no good. None of them. Can't trust them as far as you could throw them. And well, you really believe that, don't you? Because that's the experience you keep having. So you feel justified in continuing to share that story. I mean, you're not wrong, but consider this, you're not wrong because you are co creating this feedback loop that keeps manifesting itself in your life in real time. You don't change your thoughts about the situation because you keep seeing it happen. And you keep seeing it happen because you don't change your thoughts about it. But you don't change your thoughts about it because you keep seeing it happen. You see how it works? And the minute you welcome in a new way of seeing and thinking, you can drastically alter what you begin to see in your real life. And then you can comment and share about that. And soon you'll realize that, wow, maybe it wasn't how it was. I was creating it the entire time and I didn't even realize it. I think I told you a couple of episodes ago that I used to have a lot of situationships when it came to the romance area. And I never really came across someone who wanted a real genuine committed relationship with me. There was always something in the way of that. And I was so convinced that it just wasn't for me because I could see that other people had what seemed like great partnerships while I was just rolling in mud as far as I could see. But as I worked on my vibe over time, focusing on what I really did want, which was real partnership, now I seem to only find people who do want that with me, or at least potentially. And that is something I never thought would happen. How interesting is it to see on the other side of something I thought was just the way it was going to be for me? I can say I'm currently in the process of redefining what connection and potential partnership look like. Because it can change as you grow and experience life, and then you change. But I'm so clear. I'm so clear that my thoughts and my process and how I speak about relationships and my place in them is what's going to create what's happening going forward. And I'm excited about that. So, what do you have to do to clean up your vibe and your words so you can see on the other side of your current reality? Find out after our poll question. Keep it locked. What's up, sis? Today's poll question is, how much do you pay attention to the words that you speak? If you're listening on the Spotify app, we want to hear from you. Chime in with your response and hang out for the rest of the show. Okay, y'all. So let's get into this shift. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet because it's really not that hard to start to shift your language so you can start to shift what you see happening around you. It's just hard to stay on top of implementing it. And that takes practice, but you got this. I believe in you. So, let me give you three primary things you can do to start to shift your language today. Number one, taste your words. Yes, I want you to literally pay attention to the words that you are saying on a regular basis and see how they taste. When you hear yourself speak, what's the flavor of the words that you're using? Do they taste bitter, salty, unsavory, or do they taste sweet and palatable? In other words, notice if you tend to skew on the negative side of things and about what topics. Also, how do they feel going down? Meaning, how do they feel in your body? Because you can tell what you're creating by how it feels. And it often doesn't feel good when you skew negative. So pay attention to that. And now keep in mind, for some of us, negativity is just a general flavor. Like it could just be the way that you tend to speak, not only on specific topics. So pay attention and pay attention to the results that you tend to get. Because I 100% know your words match your experiences. And I want you to notice the same thing because you can't change anything that you aren't aware of. And number two, feel for better thoughts. Now, you have to remember that your words are only an after effect of the thoughts that you're thinking. Once you realize the flavor of your words, look to identify the thoughts that you have attached to them and figure out how you'll reframe them going forward. For example, if you always find yourself complaining about never having money, ask yourself what your real primary thoughts about money are and write them down. Then start to feel for thoughts that feel better than those. Not like something you don't really believe, because that won't work, but something that feels true and feels better than what you started with. So if you discover that your primary thought, for example, about money is that you really feel like no matter what you do, you'll never have enough money, then you can try shifting that to something that feels better. Like, I know that even when I don't seem to have a lot of money, things always seem to work out. I'm taken care of. That might be something that is true and feels better than focusing on a belief that you'll never have enough. You see what I did there? P.S. Sometimes it can be difficult to identify those thoughts and reframe them. And we have a tool called the lie detector test in the toolkit of our Heal, Love, Manifest membership or HLM membership that will help you to do that. And I think I mentioned it before too, because it's such a powerful tool for this work. So make sure you take advantage of it if you are in the membership or if you want to be. Okay. And last but not least, number three, activate the power of I am. I don't know if you realize how often you say I am right before you bless or curse yourself. I am sick and tired. I am so pissed. I am broke. I am over it. I'm done. I'm broken. When you say these things, you are cursing yourself big time because the spell is casted. And what you're saying is exactly what you're calling into your life. And it can even show up when you say things like, I don't know, or I'm confused. Often, you may not be saying I am specifically, but it has the same effect because you are attaching yourself to that outcome. I point this out to my clients a lot because I notice that the people who use those statements the most tend to exemplify the essence of those statements. People who say they're confused a lot experience a lot of confusion in their lives, often to their own doing, without realizing it because they're so focused on being confused. People who say, I don't know a lot, are often feeling at a loss of solutions or information because the focus is on not knowing. You get what I'm saying? I am is the creative power within you. Even some spiritual traditions refer to God as I am because it is the God power inside of you. And if you don't remember anything I tell you today, remember that I am will make or break you. It defines you. And only you get to say what that definition will be. So take great care when casting this spell. If you know that whatever you say after those words are a spell you're casting, how would that change what you say behind those words? Would you breathe sick and tired into your life? Would you want more reasons to be pissed? Would you continue to speak broke over your being? Would you want to be over it? Would you want to have to be done all the time? Would you bring more brokenness into your life? Would you? Well, that's what you're doing when you allow your most powerful spell to go unchecked. And I am inviting you to activate that power with intention. So, what are you going to create? I am well. I am at peace. I am filled with abundance. I am releasing it. I am whole. You choose. So, that's what I have for you today. And yes, we do have a tool in the toolkit in our membership that will help you to more sort out your I am. But for right now, practice being a good steward of your word and by default your thoughts, and watch that magic start to work. And after this short break, I'll be back with our oracle card of the day. So you know what to do. Hey sis, want to be part of our Healed 100? We are ready to open our new membership, the HLM Circle, and we want you to be a part. If you're a Black woman ready to heal yourself and give yourself that extra dose of self-love so you can manifest what you really want in your life, then this is where you belong. You'll get a toolkit of my most effective tools I've used with my clients to help you along your journey, plus access to special membership workshops and our private Facebook group, where you get some support from me on how to use the tools effectively on your journey, along with the ability to share your journey with others in the circle and get feedback from them as well, as we all practice to use the tools. As part of the Healed 100, you get special VIP pricing. This offer is only open for a limited time and closes once we hit 100 members. So if you're ready to really change your life, join us and let's heal together. Visit us at www.ggYlt.com for more information. Okay, so we are back at the end of our episode, and I am getting ready to close us out with our oracle card of the day. And today I'm using a new deck. Oh man, it's so new that I can hardly shuffle them. But this deck is called Spiritual Awakening, and it's a beautiful deck by Reverend Dr. Erin Fall Haskell. And the reason why I'm using this one today, one, I'm just really attracted to the artwork on this one, but also it is related to the 52. She says 52. I know 12, but she says 52. Universal laws. And since I mentioned 3 of them in this episode, something just spoke to me and said, this is the deck that we need to use today. So I'm shuffling. And as always, I'm asking my spirit guides and your spirit guides and all who have our best interests at heart to give us a card that will lead us as we close out for today. So I am ending with, oh, love this, the law of love. And it says, your heart knows no bounds. The law of love. Well, I can see how that would definitely be a universal law. It's not exactly one of the ones that I know as a universal law, but of course, it's a universal law, the law of love. But what this is saying to me right now is speaking to me about love as an abundance tool, love as how we're operating. And especially today, we were talking a lot about our word and how powerful our words are. So, this is just a reminder to us to speak with love, to speak abundance, to speak grace over our lives. Those are all expressions of love. And often we can get really sidetracked with that because life be lifing. And it's so easy, again, to comment on all the things that could be going wrong, things that we're witnessing, things that we're experiencing in life that sometimes are not ours, but they are things that we're noticing, and it adds to our vibration. And then when we speak more about it, we are amplifying it. And so this is just a reminder that whatever we are experiencing, to choose to speak to it with love, to speak about it with love, to speak over it with love. We see things that are happening that are not savory, that taste bitter, or seem just hard to deal with, that we take the time to remember that love is the language of our spirit and the language of our heart and the language of our soul. And if we choose to have the intention of speaking with love, then we will bring more love into our lives, and we will experience more love in our life, and we will experience more abundance, and we'll experience more wealth, we'll experience more grace. And we'll be giving that as a gift to others too through our words, because we affect other people's vibration with ours. So if we're speaking negative and we're putting that towards someone else, or we're talking to someone else continuously in a negative way, we're affecting their energy field too. And so the greatest form of love that we can give to ourselves and to others is to speak that over their lives and over our own. So I want to leave that with you today, the law of love, to make sure to remember that that is the space that you are coming from when you use your words. I'll see you next time. Ciao.